Sister Wahida embodies a life of service, compassion, and commitment to uplifting her community. She's a full-time nurse whose work reflects the mercy and empathy at the heart of our faith. And she's also the proud mother of 4 and grandmother of 4, roles through which she continues to inspire the next generation with her strength, wisdom, and character. Sister Wahida is a former student of the renowned Hajj Hasnan Rajab Ali. Over the years, she has delivered lectures at Rutgers, Newark, the County College of Morris, and continues to teach regularly at our home mosque in Muhammadiyah in Paterson, New Jersey. One of her greatest passions is addressing and correcting the widespread misconceptions surrounding women in Islam. She strives to highlight the dignity, agency, and honor that our tradition grants women, reminding us that true modesty and empowerment come from understanding and not stereotypes. It is a privilege to have her with us tonight, and we are truly honored to welcome her to our podium. With that, I invite you all to join me in offering your loudest, most heartfelt salawat as we welcome Sister Wahida Shereenzada.
I begin in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise belongs to Him and only Him. Alhamdulillah, the one who grants us dignity, clarity, and purpose. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walibasu taqwa dhalikal khayr. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim. The meaning of this verse, and the clothing of righteousness, that is the best. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim. Assalamu alaikum, respected scholars, brothers, sisters, students. Thank you very much. It's really a privilege and an honor to have you all here on a Monday night, to have traveled in this crazy traffic. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. One of the biggest questions that we are faced with every day on a daily life for workers, for students, for youngsters is, what is empowerment? What is success? So I want you guys, especially the students, ask this question. What is empowerment to you? What is empowerment? What is a successful person? What comes to your mind instantly? Let me guess. Today's empowerment is often defined by how loudly you express yourself, how rich you are, like we were saying yesterday. This guy, what's his name? I have a brain fog. Trillionaire, Elon Musk. Is that success? The Kardashians, Kris Jenner, 7 years old. She's successful? Is that success? That's what it is in today's society, right? She's 7 years old, but looks like she's 35. Is it one of the athletes? Who is it? Who's a successful person to you? How visible you can make your life. How much attention you can attract. How much money you have in your bank. That's what success is defined like in today's day and age. In a modern empowerment, it's like someone is placing a spotlight on you, on your hand, and saying, shine this on yourself. The brighter you are, the more powerful you are. But Islam gives a complete different definition. Islamic empowerment. Let's go over that. In Islam, empowerment is not about being seen, brothers and sisters. This is something that we have to get into the root of, which is very, very important for the especially younger generation. This generation, unfortunately, has been so brainwashed, thinking that everything is only about your outer appearance, or about how much you have in your bank, or how well you look, how perfect you look. Everything is about your outer appearance. What is modesty? How is modesty defined? Let's look into it a little bit deeper. Anybody want to just shout out or what they think modesty is? A definition? Anybody? Okay.
Hijab.
Hijab. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. Modesty, hijab. What's hijab? Modesty in Islam, self-respect, confidence, agency, boundaries, inner dignity. Modesty is not a cage, my brothers and sisters. It's a compass. It leads us. It shows us direction. It's about self-respect. It's about telling the world out there that I don't care. I don't need validation from you. I want to validate myself, my inner soul, myself, from my Creator. I don't need 1 million likes. That's what this world, this generation is brainwashing you guys. You, the younger generation, is the more likes you have. It's about validation. It's about getting fulfillment. But where's that going to really get us? Show me one person in history who was the most beautiful person that they are remembered today. Show me. You'll probably come across them maybe, but are they remembered? Who are some people, who are some important women who are remembered in history? It's Harriet Tubman, right? And I'm not talking about, when I talk about hijab, I'm not talking about women only. Because when you hear the word hijab, right away you think, oh, a woman covered from head to toe. That's not what hijab is. Hijab comes first from within. It has to come from within. You have to be ready to face your Creator and tell your Lord, I am ready for this hijab. I am ready for my haya. Haya, alhamdulillah, I see that there's a lot of my expectation was there would probably be a lot more non-Muslims, but we know the word haya, where it is, where it comes from. Haya comes first from within your soul. Allah tells us in the Quran there are 3 nafses, right? We have the 3 nafses. We have the first one, the nafs al-ammara, right? Then we have the best, which is nafs al-mutma'ina. And then we have the nafs that's in between, that is the break. It's a stop sign. It tells the ordering nafs, take a break, slow down. So we want to become that person that reaches the most highest of the nafses, nafs al-mutma'in, which means you are so confident in your soul that it doesn't matter if they carry you and they hold you with chains, you are willing to put on hijab. But this is not an overnight process, my dear sisters and brothers. And I will tell you this myself personally. I've been in this country since I'm 5 years old. That's 40-something years. You do the math how old I am. But I grew up in this country, and it's not easy to put on your hijab. I put on my hijab once in 1999 when I was a student of Brother Hassanin, and then 9/11 happened, you know, and I came across so many hardships. I was bullied. My children almost got run over by a pickup truck because I was wearing my hijab. I've been called jihadists. I've been called so many. Those of you who are hijabis, you know it's not easy, especially after 9/11, right? When I took it off, I felt this emptiness. I felt this emptiness. I said, why do I feel like this? What's missing? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered me. And everyone was like, but it's not safe, put it on. I wore a hat and everything, but I still felt empty. But then I said, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. If it means that something's going to happen to me, but my iman is not shaky anymore. When your iman is shaky and you are willing to fulfill and make others happy, then it's not going to be easy. But the first step is like we said, it's not an overnight process, my brothers and sisters. Not just for the sisters, brothers and sisters. Can I get a loud salawat? In the Quran, in Surah 24, which you read right now, mashallah, it says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, tell the believing, because if you're not a believing person, there's no purpose in even saying it. Tell the believing men to lower their gaze and guard their modesty. Then he addresses the woman. Now think about that. Why is Allah addressing the men first before the women? Because in today's age, they always say, well, women are the second class. Women are always underdetermined. Women are looked down upon. Why does the woman have to wear the hijab? Why doesn't the men have to wear the hijab? No. Hijab is addressed to men and women, but first the men. And let me tell you something. Today, in today's psychology and science, and I can get you guys, if you want, the studies. Studies show that because men have 7 to 10 times more testosterone, they are more likely to be triggered by any kind of sexual activity or anything that might instigate. Allah tells the men first, lower your gaze. And then he tells the woman, hijab did not come overnight, sisters, and we need to educate brothers. We need to educate ourselves and remind ourselves and tell other people, because they think that, oh, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam came and told the people, put on your hijabs right now. It was not an overnight step. It was not an overnight process. It came 15 plus years later, after he migrated to Medina. And it was not addressed right away. The first verse that came to him was addressed to his wives, where people would come inside the house and they would talk to the prophet's wives with no respect or anything like that. And the first one that was addressed were the wives of the prophet. And the verse said, put a boundary, put a curtain between. It did not come and say, listen, ladies, you got to cover up yourself, because hijab was already there, brothers and sisters. It was there from the Greeks, it was there from the Christians, it was there from the Jews, Hindus, every single religion that you know, they have been wearing the hijab for many, many years. When Islam came, it perfected it. Because women were already wearing their hijabs. They had their hijab, they would cover it, their ears were sticking out, but there was a problem. It was not proper. They had their chest cavity showing, the way they dressed, they wore clothes that were see-through. But Islam came and perfected it. Islam said, wear looser clothing. Put on a second garment. Why? Why? Now, you might ask yourself, why is it necessary? Because a lot of the questions that are, being asked or being said is, they want to degrade Islam and say, but come on, this was 1400 years ago. So are we going backwards? Because when Prophet Adam alayhi salam, when he came, and this verse that I recited in the beginning and said, the clothes of piety, of taqwa, right? It is better. The word libas has been mentioned in the Quran several times. What is clothing? What does clothing do? It perfects you, right? It protects you from the heat, protects you from the sun, protects you from the rain. It's a protection, but it's a beautifier also. But Allah is telling us in the Quran, it's not the outer garment that I'm saying. There's a garment that's better than that. The garment of taqwa, the garment of piety. My brothers and sisters, and I will continue to do so, and I urge you guys, we have minimized ourselves. We have degraded ourselves, and we have fallen victim to today's society. We have become so concentrated and so focused on our outer appearance that we have forgotten the light within us. Imam Ali alayhi salam, can I get a loud salawat? Imam Ali alayhi salam tells us so beautifully in Nahj al-Balagha that you are so focused on the outside appearance that you have forgotten this universe that's within you. Brothers and sisters, we have universe. We are a universe within us. We are capable of reaching heights. Yesterday, mashallah, I went to this organization, may Allah bless you, and all the organizers, Muslims for Peace. And what I saw, I was astonished. We humans are capable of moving mountains. We are capable of doing the greatest things like they are doing, outside, like you guys are doing right now. This is beautiful. May Allah reward you all for what you are doing. We are capable of moving mountains, and I repeat, we can do the biggest things, but we have to get in touch with ourselves. We have universes within ourselves. We have to realize that this world has become such a chaotic world. And guess what? That's what they want us to become. That's what they want us to do. That's the kind of mindset and mentality, especially the younger generation, they want us to become. It's a YOLO mentality. You only live once, right? You only live once, so do whatever it takes to make yourself happy. No, but in Islam, there's a beautiful book, and I urge you all to read it. Sahifa Sajadiyya, written by Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. One of the most beautiful books, where it talks about the rights of everybody amongst us. The rights of your mother, the rights of your father, the rights of your neighbor, the rights of plants, animals. Such a beautiful religion we have. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, wants us to live in harmony. It wants to protect us. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders us to wear the hijab, it's because it's protecting us. It's not downgrading us. It's not degrading us the way the society wants us to believe it is. Oh, it's, this was 1400 years ago. Muslim women are very uneducated. They're very backwards. No, it's liberating. It's liberating us. It's telling the world that this headpiece that I have on me, it's a symbol. And no matter what you do to try to remove this from my head, I will not. I will be that symbol, especially the woman. Especially the woman. Because if a man and a woman go out there, right? Well, sometimes you can tell when a man is a Muslim with the beard and everything. But most of the time you won't. It's the woman who have the symbol, right? Look at our religion. When I put on my hijab and I went through those hardships, I had very close members saying, you're putting yourself at risk. Take it off. Go to the job interviews. I swear, I would speak on the phone. They had no idea. I would show them my transcript, 4-point GPA. Oh, we're most likely going to hire you. As soon as I would go to the interview, you know what? Are you going to wear that thing? It's not going to come in your way of nursing, this, that. No, it's not going to come in my way. But I waited and I waited, alhamdulillah, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me the best Muslim boss for 10 years. But Allah is telling you to be patient. It's not an easy thing. Life is not easy. Life is a trial, and hijab is one of the biggest trials for us women, especially in this country. We have to be strong enough, but again, we cannot put it on if it doesn't come from here. When I took off my hijab the first time, I realized that my iman was not strong enough. It's not an overnight step, And you have some people who point fingers at people who put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. I said, let them. Who are you to judge? If they want to put it on and take it off 10 times, this is their struggle. Let them be. Don't judge. Let's work on ourselves, because Islam, right? Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, alayhi salam, he was not sent. He was not sent to just bring these laws. There are many laws already there. He came back to revive the people. And he said to reflect. And when I sit there, when I teach the kids, reflection is the key word to the younger generation. Even the older ones. We have become so entangled and so busy with work that when we get home, we're so drained. It's even hard enough to do your 3 rakats of namaz or 4 rakats that we barely have time to even reflect. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you to reflect. We're supposed to reflect every 5 minutes, every second, every moment, when we're standing, when we're work. But when you have this hijab and you have this modesty, it's a constant reminder for you. When I wear it at work, and I'm the only one that has the hijab, I have people coming forward and saying, oh, I'm sorry, I hope you don't mind. I said, I don't mind. Because guess what? Ignorance is the worst thing. Because the first surah, the first ayah that was revealed was Iqra, right? Learn, read, educate. Brothers and sisters, what you guys are doing is beautiful here. You're educating. You're educating the outer world. You want people to know what Islam is. You want people to know what hijab is. This is wonderful. And I praise you guys, and I pray to God that inshallah this continues. But you will do it. It's not an overnight step. Look at Bibi Maryam. When I put on my hijab and people ask me, especially the Christians, I said, you've seen statues of Bibi Maryam? Yeah. Well, have you ever seen her in anything else but a head covering? Oh my goodness, you're right. When you go to a church, do you go in with without a head covering? No, we actually wear the head covering. We have to remind them. I said, look at our religion. They named an entire chapter after her. About her hardship. You think it was easy for her? Do you think she had an easy time? People were mocking. Women were not even allowed to enter the temple. She managed, with her faith and with her taqwa, with her piety, she managed to stay there, and she would say, don't let me do anything else, just let me clean the temple. Now let's go further than that. Bibi Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. During the time of the Prophet, was the time of Jahiliyyah. He was the one known to stand up for his daughter. Kiss her hand. They would mock him. They would laugh at him. You're standing up for your daughter? This is our religion. It shows you the beauty. But Bibi Fatima Zahra was not Bibi Fatima Zahra just because of her hijab. It was because of her piety. It was because of her akhlaq. It was because of the light that she had within her. It was because of the knowledge that she had. She would teach others. She invited people towards her because of her akhlaq. That's what modesty is, brothers and sisters. Even our Prophet, his modesty, his akhlaq was what drew people. Today we have what? 2 billion Muslims? And he's up there as number 1. Why? Not because he just wore a rag or he wore something. It was his modesty. It was his akhlaq that drew him. Yesterday, one of the reverends told the story of the Jewish woman who would throw garbage at him. And he said it so beautifully, so eloquently. I said, look, this is a Christian reverend. He knew his story and he said, this moved me, this story. It's little things like that, brothers and sisters, that draw people towards you. He would get garbage thrown at him, but he went and visited her and said, what do you need? What is it that I can do? What is it that I can offer? He didn't go back and say, you were throwing garbage at me and now you're not throwing garbage at me. That's the kind of role models we have. Unfortunately, today, our generation have forgotten who the real heroes are, who the real role models are, the real ones with the real modesty. We have the best role model, the best of the best. Show me anybody that will come the slightest closest to our Prophet. Show me, please. I urge you. Anybody in history. You will not, right? So hijab is a dress code. It's a dress code for our outer appearance. It's a collective thing. It's not just for ourselves. Like I said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants every human being to live in harmony. He wants to protect us. He wants to protect us. Sometimes you hear stories of, oh, you know, you heard a tragedy and it's sad. Nobody deserves to be, you know, attacked by a vicious man. And you would hear the story, or you would hear, you know, this woman was running at 3 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock at night. But this reminds us that Quran tells us, why is a woman at 5 a.m. in the morning running outside with shorts on? Allah is telling us, protect yourself, because there are men out there, unfortunately, who are sick, who have a disease in their heart. That's why Allah tells not just the woman, He tells the man and the woman. Hijab is addressed to both genders. And even further than that, I cannot ever give any kind of a speech or lecture without reminding ourselves of Bibi Zainab. For those of you who are here, I'm sure, you know, you've heard the mother of patience, we call her. For those of you who've never heard the name Lady Zainab or Bibi Zainab, she's known as the mother of patience. But guess what? She was attacked. Her family was attacked. But nothing shook her iman. Nothing shook her taqwa. Nothing made her take her hijab off. If you think we have it hard, always think of Bibi Zainab. Always remind yourself of Bibi Zainab. And I urge you guys to push this story, to remind yourselves, to educate yourselves. Unfortunately, we've become so brainwashed that men have lost their zeal. Zeal in the Arabic word is called ghaira. Where women, you will see their daughters dressed in the most crazy, perverted way. But a man, forget about if they're not even a man of faith. You will see Muslim men showing off their wives. Allah doesn't want us to do this. Not because He's gonna benefit from it. He's protecting society. Allah tells the man that you have this armor. It is your duty. You are the armor of the household. Why do we wear hijab? Like I said before, hijab is a symbol. I wish there was a better name for the hijab. If I had a choice to call hijab another name, I would call it the crown. Why does a queen wear a crown? Because it looks good? No. Because she earned it. Because she's the queen, she's the highness. And when a woman puts on her hijab, this is her crown. Wear it proudly. Wear it proudly. I cannot say this more. Wear it proudly. Why shouldn't you wear it proudly? It's okay for a woman to walk outside half naked. They won't have a problem with a woman wearing shorts, wearing a bikini. There's no issue with that. But then you'll go to a university in one of those countries, they have a problem with a woman covering herself. What is the problem? We have to put on our crowns, and oh men out there, put on your capes. A doctor who wears a doctor's lab coat, right? He earned that. You can't have anybody else wearing a doctor's coat, right? You can't have a person who's not a firefighter putting on a firefighter. They earn that. And when a woman wears a crown or a man puts on his cape, that's your hijab. That's your modesty. You start with the inside, my brothers and sisters. And I will leave you with the most beautiful verse at the end. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In Surah number 1, verse number 9. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Indeed, successful one is the one who purifies the soul. And I will leave you at that. And I thank you very much for your attention. And I hope, inshallah, that Allah gives us the iman to continue our modesty, to continue becoming better human beings, to continue and become more pious with our taqwa. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.